So I'm going to do this and that. Okay. And it did print here. And if I rerun, it is being spawned again. Is the thread ever dying? I guess it must be. Now to make it actually watch for file changes, I'll need probably watchdog or something like that. Okay, so this inherits from the file system event handler. And this has these methods. Okay, so I'm going to want to import this. And I don't think I'll need that. And I can add the file system event handler. But not just this one, I'll have to overwrite it. So the next thing to do, let's call this my handler or something like that. inherit from this. Let's call this my handler or something like that. Inherit from this. And now pretty much only want to overwrite maybe on any event. I'll just overwrite on moved. Just print the event. So now, don't need this. The path, sure. I can make this path just be something arbitrary for now. Or just hard code it. What's the file I'm running right now? Examples OpenGL. So if I make this example scenes OpenGL.py, then this can be my handler. Okay. Then when I schedule, I'll pass it as pap, recursive, fine, and then start it. Wait, why does it time.sleep here? Oh, then it just sleeps forever. So that's fine. And eventually it'll stop the thread, which I actually should be doing with the keyboard thread, but you know, sometimes it doesn't happen that way. Okay, guess I can't import observer. Which is weird, because I think that happened in the documentation. Watchdog.observers and watchdog.events. Okay. So now it should be watching that file. But if I make a change, I think something will happen. Nope, nothing happened. Or either nothing happened, or it's printing on a different thread. Since this file thread is running separately. It's hard to tell which one happened. I wonder if there's something more obnoxious than printing I can do. Let me try. I should try running this on the same thread first. So here I'll just do file thread. Self.file thread. So what this should do is break, hang right here, do this stuff, freeze in this while loop, but this will allow me to see if the handler is working properly. So now it should be hanging. And I still don't see anything. So I wonder if this is because it's actually not doing anything, or if, well, there are a few things that could be wrong. Unmoved might not be the right event, or Vim could be saving this file to a buffer rather than writing it to disk. Or I might be doing something else wrong to prevent it. Even triggering the event. Like this path might have to be else wrong to prevent it. Even triggering the event. Like this path might have to be absolute or something like that. So I think from here, example scenes, OpenGL.py. Yeah, it is. I think this is the proper path. So just to make sure this is going, I'm going to hit this. Okay, so that is working. Handler. Okay, I'm going to try just overriding more of the handlers and see if I can get any of them to work properly. Actually, yeah. I would do something more egregious, like just delete the file, just nuke it out of existence. But I kind of need that file. Where's the documentation? Was it events? Why do none of these have the methods to overwrite? Okay, so it was on modified. Great. So then the question is, can I do this from another thread? So don't do this. Instead do that. Mega Mammal, what's up? And so now, if I edit this, change, and it does print. So I can do that from another thread. So I can stop this. And here, what I want to do is communicate something via the queue. Okay, so I'll have to pass the queue for one thing. I have to do like this. And here, it's called super init then save the queue. When it's modified, I'm just going to push something, but I don't actually know what I'll push. And I'm going to push something, but I don't actually know what I'll push. And here, when I start the thread, I'll pass that queue. Wait, I don't have to pass it here, actually. I can do it here. Okay. So now I've got the queue. And on modified, all I have to do is push the same thing that the terminal thread pushes when I run rerun. So you can just do this. I think that's all. I'll still print. And then I should quit the thread as well. But quitting threads is for cowards, so I'm not going to do that. Okay, so now I'm going to try editing the file. I save, then nothing happens. Okay. Args is not defined. That's true. So if on modified here, I think all I have to do is just not pass anything here. Actually, I can leave it the same way and just make the args nothing. Like this. So now, run it again. Get this. Edit the file. Nice. Nice. And it's even still interactive. So now if I did something, I change this to blue. The camera position doesn't update, which I guess is okay. But this is great. Now I can change it to a circle, change the fill opacity to like 0.5. That's really nice. So I can do this. If I added, the next thing I'll want to do plus 2 times. The next thing I'll want to do is make it so you can configure how much of it you want to replay. Because if you have a few different animations and you only want to replay the last one, it could take a while to go through all the previous ones before it finally gets to the one that you care about. But this is great. Let me see what this does. Interesting. That's a longer animation than I thought it would be. Okay, that's a lot more progress than I expected to make today. Like I actually got it. Oh. Something going on the terminal. Oh, you know what must be happening? I never closed any of the terminals. So they must be stacking on top of each other. So I will have to fix that. It's like a minimalistic floppy disk. True. I knew that problem with the terminals would have to come back and bite me. Actually, what's happening? Hold on. Oh, this makes sense. Because when I'm in the terminal thread and I run the rerun command, it exits the shell. When I'm in the terminal thread and I run the rerun command, it exits the shell. But when I'm in the file thread and I rerun from here, nothing ever stops the terminal thread. So why would the terminal ever work? So if I do this, if I save this and go to the terminal, this should, I would expect this would just break it. Yeah, that just breaks it. Kind of. Yeah, it doesn't work. I try to like add something. Whoops. Yeah, that doesn't work. I don't think the fix is too hard though. Is it? If the interact function had a reference to the keyboard thread, it could run keyboard thread.stop. And I don't think that's hard to do. And just pass it here. And then pass it there. And then when it's time to rerun, run keyboard thread.stop. I think, however, if the thread that pushed the rerun command was the keyboard thread, then that thread would have already stopped. It would have exited itself. So I don't know if it's valid to call stop on a thread that's already stopped. Guess not. Wait, is that even what you're supposed to do? Man, I have a lot of tabs. There's start, run, join, name. I guess you can't stop it. Well, how do you stop it? I'm exposing how little I know about Python threads. Start, sleep, raise exception, join. Raising exceptions in the thread. The stop flag. Oh. This is sharing data via a global variable. And this one's just going to write to the global variable to stop the threads. Is that really what you have to do? As soon as the global variable is set, the target function run ends up and the thread can killed with join using traces. Here you can t1.kill. And this just sets its own variable. Then somewhere it's going to read like if self.killed probably. This is not Python specific, this low level OS stuff. Yeah, I thought so. Thread.start. Okay. So yeah, you can't just stop a thread like that. I've run into this problem before. And then I forgot about it. So... Oh, I'm gonna need a better way to do this. Well, here's what I can do. I think. Try this and then finally stop and join. If I'm doing this rerun, if I put this on the queue, then this thread isn't needed anymore since the scene is going to be destroyed. So I can just raise from here. Then this thread isn't needed anymore since the scene is going to be destroyed. So I can just raise from here. I feel like this isn't what you're supposed to do, but I can just raise from here. Is that what even what I do? That's not what I want to do. What I want is to break out of this so that I can call stop and join. So I can stop on the observer. So the rendering thread here, if this has a reference to the observer, then it can call observer.stop and observer.join. So how do I pass back the observer? How do I pass it to the render thread? I'd have to like get the observer and then start it on my own. Which I don't think it'd be too much work. I think it'd be like... Want it to be like this? This gets me the observer. And then within interact, I can pass the observer to be the file observer. And then this one, this function, can start it. And I called it file observer. But in this case, this might as well just create the observer too. So it should just be like this. So now what's happening? There is a kill API in POSIX, but it's super dangerous. Yeah, my understanding of threads is that there isn't a way to just tell it to fuck off. You can't just kill it like that. You have to wait for it to die on its own. So at this point, I started the keyboard thread. I run the renderer thread. The renderer thread will spawn the file thread. And upon getting the rerun command, I can wait. Don't I not even need this function? I don't need that function anymore. Because I don't need to sleep on my own, because I'm going to sleep when I render. So when it receives the rerun command, it can stop the file observer and join it. And so this should at least kill that thread. So now if I rerun and stop pressing the J key, oh, and I can tell the rerun command is taking a longer time. which is annoying, and I know why it's taking a longer time. It's taking a longer time because it's waiting for this file observer to stop. I wonder if there's a way to asynchronously... I guess I could just not join it, right? Because I'm never going to use this file thread, again. Like ever. So maybe this isn't necessary. But I'll do that for now. But that's not actually... That's not the hard part. The hard part is how to stop the keyboard thread. Is there a way to stop the keyboard thread?